Doing today?
Doing awesome.
Let's get it. Let's get it, man. We gotta. I got a good guest here, man. Before we get into all that, we're gonna have some couple of more people kind of jumping on. Let's hear some good news from people, man. Like, who got some good news they want to share with the group right now? Got these rock star real estate agents. Who's a rock star agent out there?
Well, for me being a newbie, I just passed my NAEA sellers test this morning. I did that. So I'm going to do the other one this afternoon.
Awesome. Awesome. Congrats for that. Getting that NAEA sellers done. What's going on? Anybody else got some good news they want to share? What's up, Jennifer? What's up, Ty? Kathleen, Andre?
I'm excited. I got a couple of guests on here. I invited a bunch of people to come on. I think Mr. Dave's on and there's a few other guests. So excited to have DJ bring the fire and help these guys, bring their business to the next level.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Welcome for joining, Dave. Let's see what else we're here. All right. So we do these every second Friday of the month. Where we do our mastermind. This is where we just kind of share and you're able to ask questions. We have a guest speaker to actually talk and share some of the stuff that they've been able to do to be successful. So if this is your first time, just feel free, open up and let's just play all out, right? So anybody else got some good news? What's going on? So we got Chase in here, we got Quinice, Willette, Anthony, what's up? Benita, let's see some cameras, man. Like, hey, I like to talk to people, right? Hey, DJ, we're gonna want to talk to people. So,
I want that T-shirt DJ got on.
That's it.
I'll send you one. We actually have a new batch being printed as we speak.
Good. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat.
Sounds good.
Love it. Love it. All right. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get started, with this whole thing. You all, I am so excited to have my buddy DJ come here with us today. And if y'all don't know him, man, he's probably one of the most genuine folks that you will ever meet. He plays all out. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. Been extremely successful. Had some ups and downs, just like all of us has. But at the same time, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up, right? And created a great business with him and his partner. And I'm just so excited, man, to have him here today. So without further ado, DJ, what's up, buddy?
How are you? I'm excited. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I want to try to add a lot of value for you guys. And like James said, I am no superhero. I'm no different than anybody. And I kind of want to start just telling you a little bit about kind of where we were and kind of how we got here. So I've known my business partner 20 plus years now. I actually met him playing college football. And he laughs because he was an accountant and I got him out of accounting into sales and real estate. So he said it was the best and worst decision of his life, more the best. But yeah, all kidding aside. So we had a pretty big mortgage company for many years and kind of went through 2008, 2009, which was a tough period in the economy. And I was always still involved in real estate, more in a part-time area. Matt stayed involved full-time, and about 6 years ago now talked about, what if we grew a small team? That was kind of the original goal, and kind of get back working together. So I actually had a consulting job in healthcare, and I was just running 100 hours a week, kind of burning out. I wasn't happy in, just in general in life. Like from the outside looking in, it looked like everything was going great. And I just kind of had a moment in time where I needed just a pause to kind of reset, is what I called it. So I took some time off, and when me and Matt kind of started forming, or trying to form, I should say, the team back together, I'd been out of full-time real estate now for, let's see, probably about 6 years, still doing investment properties, things of that nature. But I say that because I was very rusty, right? And us having kind of no money at the beginning, the only way we knew how to do business, and what we've always done, is just outwork people. I've always been a big believer in effort. If I tell the team every morning, if you work really hard, and I mean truly work hard, and you're enthusiastic and come from a place of helping people, you're going to win. Because just by doing the activity, your skills increase, right? So we were, our only method to do business, we were doing open houses every weekend for even other agents. I'd offer to do open houses for other agents just to be able to try to meet more people. I started to call and prospect. So for me, my main source was for sale by owner and expired listings were the two main I'd say groups of people I would call. And then what we call circle prospecting, if we had, say, a listing, I would call all the houses around that listing. Or if we sold a property, I'd call all the houses around that. In addition, I would door knock. So I would literally walk around the neighborhoods, and I would just introduce myself and just say, hey, if you ever need a great local agent, I'm here to help you. And that beginning was tough because we hadn't really sold anything. So, as far as credibility and track record, I say to our team every day, every one of us started with zero, and then zero becomes one, and one grows, right? So I just always, where I overcame fear and I had my confidence, was coming from a place of helping. And I think it's the quickest way to overcome, let's say, call reluctance or talking to a stranger. And in your heart that you're just there to help. And I believe that I would, again, even though I didn't have all the skill, by my effort and my work, I did truly believe every day, even early on, that I could help those, all those clients. So I'm fortunate, to have some great mentors and coaches now over the last 5 or 6 years that I owe them a lot of credit for where we've come. But if I could tell you, at the beginning, I was calling on average about 3 to 4 hours every day. And that was Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, I was doing a lot of open houses, sometimes multiple. If there was an 11 to 1, I would do that one. I would try to jump into another one, say 2 to 4. Sunday, the same thing. So we were working really hard, and we started to get a couple of sales under our belt. And the reason for us, we saw a need for a team is I found out very early on I was going to have a son, which is the greatest blessing in my life. And once I found that out, I had to be a little more balanced, of course, with time. So for me personally, I gravitated toward listings because I could control my time a little bit more. I still do work with buyers, absolutely love working with buyers, but I learned again from a mentor a lot of us probably know was Jay Kinder. So I was coaching with Jay Kinder before I moved to EXP, and Jay had said, DJ, if you really focus more on listings, you can still be successful and get some time back in your life. And this would be my advice, to you. So I said, okay. So, like anyone not knowing what to do, when I tell you guys I was making those calls every day, I was happy if I got one appointment. So you figure that's 25 hours of me just calling strangers. And if I got one, I was excited. And I say that because I wasn't good at it. I was getting hung up on a lot. I wasn't saying the right things in the right order. So for me, I was going home every evening. I didn't have an appointment, and I'm going on YouTube. And again, Mr. Kinder's sending me a lot of his stuff, and I'm watching everybody who's ever made a call and trying to learn and absorb everything. So you really have to have that desire. And what's tough, and this is why, I love groups like this and feel so fortunate that you're a part of this amazing group and team. We're all stronger together. I just have Matt, and Matt was definitely there. We were there for each other, but it's tough because I feel like you're on, I was on an island just calling these strangers in dead air all day, but perfecting the craft and trying to get better at the craft, that was kind of the after. So for anybody that if you've not done it, and I know there's so many ways to do business, right? But I'm such a firm believer. Real estate, I believe, is actually pretty simple. It's how many conversations you have with buyers and sellers, how many buyers and sellers then you meet, which would be a listing appointment, a buyer consultation, showing a property. And then from there, of course, how many buyers you're able to help move into their dream home and how many sellers you can help to sell their property, right? So there's so much distraction that we're all seeing every day. We're distracted by so much, right? And I know there's some people that do amazing at social media. I see Mike on here, Collier. He's a stud on social media. I'm not Mike. Mike can go on stage and he's more charismatic. He has a gift. I don't feel as confident. I'm more confident like on a cold call on the telephone than I am say on social, because it's just, my nature. But so here's kind of some major things that I want to provide you guys where I think has allowed us success. So the daily consistency is truly that is the silver bullet. So when everyone's looking for what's the secret, it absolutely is daily consistency. And me being a sports guy, here's what I would say. When I played football, I didn't show up to the stadium 20 minutes before the game, right? I was at the stadium 3 hours before the game started. I was stretching. I was getting ready mentally, right? I was doing what I needed to do to get mentally and physically ready to go play that game. So I call that my pregame ritual, right? Then I'm ready for the game. And then, of course, after the game, there's that post game, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. What did I learn? How to get better, to the next week. Well, in this business, I look at the same. Our days now start, at least me personally, when I wake up, I'm very cautious about what I put into my mind, right? So anything I put into my mind, I want it to be something with positivity, right? Whether that's however you begin your day. I say that's the most important is your pregame, whether it's meditation or prayer. But I'm a big believer that your day has to begin with that. And then for me, some sort of a physical workout. Now that can be anything. That can just be walking, just something to get the blood moving a little bit, right? That's what I call the and here's why this is so important. Having that strong and positive mindset is what allows you to form discipline, because there are days that you don't want to do it. You don't want to make the calls. You don't want to do a lot of things, right? But discipline is when you master discipline and consistency, that's where excellence happens. And I say that because our first year, we might have done about 35 deals total. We were very happy with that. I mean, it was a lot of work and effort to get to that. But this year we'll do around 300 deals. And if I had to attest how we got to this growth period, our team, I look at first, we're a family, just I know this group is, and we're rowing in the same direction. So we start our day every day, and Coach Bird, I know a lot of you know him, he talks about pray drive, and I love the concept. Every day we want to be reminded of what do we need to do each day, right? So again, starting with that pregame, getting your mind in the right spot, getting the blood flowing, etc. And then game time for us. So we do an 8:30, we call it a power up call. So our 8:30 call every morning is kind of like, I love how James started it, sharing wins, sharing something of gratitude. The quickest way when we're in a mindset, and we're all human beings, when we're having a tough morning or a tough day, the fastest way to cure that is be grateful. Fastest way. It's proven psychologically, like when you are grateful or you help somebody, your quickly mind goes to that versus what's happening in my internal world right now, right? And I think that, to overcome again that call reluctance or fear, we do it a lot together. We were just in here calling here this morning, but you can only get really good and skilled at this by doing it. And why I believe so much in this skill, regardless of market, I'm sure a lot of you here right now, and we're all here, and well, the market's down, it's a tough market. We have 52 pending in August. It's our best month ever in our career. And I have to attest that to consistency. We are doing nothing magical, nothing special. And it's everybody now. The whole team's getting on the phone. You know, we try to say 50 calls a day, which anybody can do 50. You know, it's just 50 calls. Maybe it's 3-4 contacts, a couple good nurtures. So second biggest thing that I want you to write down, we talked about the pregame. We have our kind of huddle up. Being disciplined to be able to sit there for about an hour, I think is critical. So 1 hour, and your calendar is going to be your best friend. So when all the people I look up to, when I look at all these very successful men and women, I found the common denominator. They live a very kind of structured, and I joke about this, like a boring life, but boring is actually freedom. Like almost the more structured and consistent they are, the more freedom I see them all have and happiness. Because if you think about it, if I call, let's say, so my 8:30 power up, I'm done at 9. So from 9 to 10, I do brand new calls, right? I'm calling people that visit our website or any net new. I take a little break. The next hour, I want to do follow-up. I want to, you know, if James or if Andre, or let's say they're nurtures and they're thinking about doing something, I'm just following up. You know, hey, are we closer to that? Has anything changed? Those are easier calls. But the follow-up call is equally important. A lot of us will focus on the net new call, but we'll let the follow-up call. So another thing to write down, if you don't keep in touch with your sphere or any current, so your sphere is 21 days. If your sphere does not hear from you in 21 days, believe it or not, they'll start to forget about you. So if you did an amazing job in a closing and they love you and you're taking the picture on Facebook, holding the key sign, if I wait for 30 days to call Andre, he'll know me, but it's not that same feeling where if I just kind of keep in touch, anything, right? I see something he did or a great trip. Hey, Andre, I just saw you went on this amazing trip. Just any way to and make sure it's genuine. Like, you know, I'm saying when I reach out, and I appreciate, James, you saying at the beginning of the call, I truly do care. I'm genuine about what I say. And I love seeing other people win and be happy and successful. So, you know, that gives me a lot of happiness too. So being able to be in touch with them 21 days. Now, someone who's a client, let's say, and remember, cut everything in half. When they say I'm looking in 6 months to buy, 6 is 3, and 3 can quickly change to 2 weeks. And that's tough when we call people like, I already bought, you know, because we waited 2 months to follow up or 2 months to call back. So usually every week we're touching base with our, let's say, our pipeline of clients that want to either buy or sell. So again, to kind of summarize that, it's an hour of new calling, a little break, an hour of follow-up. And then from there, I say a small amount of time every day for, of course, reaching out to other agents that may be looking for help, that may want to join this amazing team and squad, or your sphere. And those are just your touch points. You know, people just, again, keeping in that cadence. So if you look at a perfect day, let's say this is all accomplished by lunchtime, right? So we know some agents aren't even getting out of bed till about 11 o'clock. So look how much you can already accomplish, let's say, by lunch. Now, truly, the next most important part of your day would be appointments. So for me, I try to schedule most of my appointments 3:30 up till about 7:30. That's usually my appointment time slot. And this is why I love real estate and the flexibility we have. My afternoon is fairly flexible now, right? So if there's anything I need to do for my family or my son or anything, I'm able to have this flexibility and this freedom because of this career. That's why I love this so much. You know, for those who have to be somewhere, let's say every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in an office, we can have an amazingly successful career, help so many people, and have flexibility for our own personal life, which is pretty awesome. So I reserve kind of those evening hours or weekends more now for appointments. But that's really it, because what, you know, I when I look at why people are so successful or why not, a lot of us that aren't at times in life, it's distractions. So how do we avoid all these distractions, right? And think about all the things that we get, the emails we get and the request, and we got to jump on them. Don't feel that need. Like I tell all my clients in my appointments, I have meetings every morning up until about 11:30. And anything that's absolutely urgent, here is, you know, you could text me, text my assistant, but I make sure they know, like, urgent really is urgent. Not, can you send me the utilities over for the property we're closing in 2 weeks? That's not urgent, right? So by time blocking and protecting your time, it's going to garner you a lot more happiness. And more than that, this is the way I think about this mindset wise. If I allow all these things to come into my day and take away from my day what I know I need to do, income producing activities, I'm really taking food off the table for my son. That's the extreme state of mind I take it to. I'm saying, if I allow this, because it's my choice, I'm choosing to do it, I'm actually hurting the people that need me and depend on me. I have to be there for them first. That's right. That's why the oxygen mask comes, they say, put it on you first so you can help others, right? So you protecting your day and your time is so important. And again, that I can't say this enough, the consistency and the discipline, and this takes time. This, like any new habit, it takes many months of doing that, but start small. You know, if it's even 25, I'd rather see an agent on my team say, I'm doing 25 calls 5 days a week than them do 200 calls 1 day and nothing 4 days. Because I know over time, it's like the tortoise and the hare, those 25 calls every day will add up and compound to an unbelievable amount of business in the future. And usually for our team, you know, the industry average is about 10 closed transactions per agent. Most of our seasoned agents now that have been with us about 3 years, they're around 30 to 40 transactions a year consistently. And I have to attest that it's from that daily reaching out to net new clients, their follow-up. And the nice thing is it gets easier over time, because then you're going to have referral business come back in. Your sphere of influence is coming back to you, right? So it only gets easier, but it's being able to have the mindset to keep going every day. And that's where, you know, I'm a big believer in team. That's why I love having a team. This group here today, we're all here for each other. You know, like I know so many of you on this call, and I would do anything for you guys, because I just know in my life, the way I live, the more good I do, it comes back to me tenfold. I'm a big believer in, you know, in that, just in general, just being a great human being day one, and everything just comes back tenfold. So, yeah, so I'm going to pause for a second. I know I went long-winded there for a bit. I'm passionate about it, but any questions from anybody, anything I can kind of go deeper on?
Yeah. Nah, man, I mean, you've been writing down all the stuff, man. You literally are laying out the game plan for success for, you know, for everybody, you know, to follow in of itself. You know, I just think about the book Atomic Habits, right? And like when you're talking about just those 25 and how it compounds and those little small adjustments. I mean, if everybody haven't read that book, you know, you definitely should read that. But yeah, like anybody got any questions for DJ? He's opening up for everybody now. So
Can I ask a question? This is Rose.
absolutely.
All right, DJ, thank you first of all for that communication. I'm so excited about, you know, the numbers, and congratulations on your numbers as well.
Thank you.
The biggest challenge that I run into, which I get it now, is my consistency, is I'll hit it real hard and then I'll stop. And then and I get a closing, and then I'll be like, oh, I got a closing, and then I'll stop. So what do you do, or what did you do? Was it your son, or the fact that you had to make the money, you used the why that kept you going? I mean, because sometimes you really do stop, and that's where I see my challenge comes, because I got it in me, but then when I stop, it's like getting back on a bike and you ain't rode in a long time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And Rose, I've been there too. I've definitely had moments in my life and my career where I've done the same thing. And you asked me, you know, how or why. I would say 100% it's my son, well, God, my son, and then my team, right? In that order. Like for me personally, I'm grateful every day that I get to breathe air and I'm here on this planet. And I look at life every day where I want to do the best I can, but truly be able to impact as many people and help as many people. When I was younger, it was about money. But I've learned as I get older, the money will come when you do the right things. And when you help enough people, the money just comes, right? So my mindset has shifted. And I will say being a dad now and having a 5-year-old son has definitely impacted my life a lot more. I just want him one day to say, my dad was a great person with integrity and worked hard. He's never going to think about how many houses his dad sold or, you know, what car I drove or what house he grew up in. Like, he's just going to remember if I was there for him. And, you know, when I look at my clients, I think of them the same way. Like, I want them to have the very best experience when they buy their house. You know, I protected them, you know, things to avoid. And when I'm selling on that and on a listing, I want them to know that I'm going to do everything in my power to get them top dollar and every dollar that they deserve in their pocket. And I want them to say, you know, I'm so happy I hired you. I'm so happy that we worked with you. I couldn't have done this without you. You know, that's to me the most gratifying feeling, what keeps me going. But yeah, you know, I've heard, and I was trained by a lot of people, and they always said, you know, the motivation, because look at it this way, motivation is temporary. I call that the little fire, right? Discipline is very different. Discipline is when, if I'm going to run, I'm running in the snow, the rain, the cold, early, all the times it's like, this is terrible. and none of us, there's no human, it's like, oh no, it's really fun. I know for a lot of us, there's things we do every day we don't want to do. But when you're able to build that mental muscle that you must do it, and where does that come from? For me, who depends on me? And who depends on me? Of course, my direct family, my work family, my business partner. I just know there's a lot of people that I need to step up for and show up for, you know, and I think that's what keeps the motivation. You can always say I'm motivated to, I'll show them or I'll do that. To me, that's temporary too. You know, like what the long-term discipline comes from doing it for the right reasons. So yeah, I would say this: when you protect your calendar, when you make it, here's why this is so hard, Rose. As real estate agents, we have a lot of flexibility and freedom. Let's say right now I go to the military or any job and I'm forced, I have to do something every day or I'm fired, and I know I will be fired immediately. Isn't it kind of funny we would all do it? I bet everyone on this call, if I said you have to do this every morning for an hour or you are fired, most everyone would do it unless there was an emergency or something happened. But when we have choices, here's what happens often, right? You get a client that says, you know, I can only meet with you at 9 a.m. That's the only time I can meet. And what's your gut instinct say? Yes. You want to quickly say yes because you're afraid you'll lose that. When I was younger, I would say yes. So I'd meet with them at 9, I'd be there till 10, I'd get back at 11. Well, now my morning's gone. And the reason I'd want to protect my morning, real estate is chaotic. Lots of things happen, right? We get emails, BRIs, emergencies, all these things are going on. So now I just simply say, hey, that's wonderful. I already have an appointment. How about 11:30? Does that work better for you? Or 12? Well, no, that doesn't work. Okay, no problem. How about tomorrow? Right? Most always people can adjust. And have I lost some business by protecting my morning? Sure, sometimes. But I feel like what I'm going to gain by being consistent will far outweigh, you know, the 1 or 2 I might lose because I'm not jumping in 1 second, right? And that's the other thing. We are professionals. I look at my career and job no different than a doctor and attorney. If I called my doctor and said, I'm coming right now, 12:30, like, no, you're not. I'm booked out for 3 weeks. And quite frankly, if he told me to come immediately, I'd be a little bit scared saying, why is my doctor so available? Because I want to go to the doctor that it takes me 2 months to get in the appointment. Matt had that happen, my business partner with a dentist. True story. I can't make this up. One dentist says, he calls on a Thursday. I got a time tomorrow. Next guy said, I'm booked for 6 weeks. He went with the one who's booked for 6 weeks. That person, I want the busier person. So psychologically, I think the right clients will respect the fact that we're busy and we're helping other people, right? Again, you have to protect it. And once you just, you'll all come to a point. Most of us make change when something becomes really painful. And for me, Rose, that's what the change was. It was every month was a roller coaster. Great month, terrible month, great month, terrible month. And in the terrible months, I'm sick to my stomach, I'm stressed out. We don't have the closings. We don't have the income. And I got to a point where I'm like, I can't keep living like this. This is eating me alive 6 months out of 12 months every year. So instead of doing, a ton one month and none the next month, I'm like, I'd rather just have a consistent number of closings. How do I do that? The calendar, right? And the days I have my son, that's an appointment. If I have my son, say this weekend, of course, there's small exceptions, but I tell my clients saying, hey, this weekend I'm already booked. I have appointments. I usually am booked out about a week. Let's take a look at the calendar next week. When you say it just with calm confidence, most people are like, hey, that's great, right? So protecting that calendar, again, I can't stress that enough. That was the game changer for me.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. This is my last question, I promise.
Yep.
Oh wait, I'm gonna sneak this one in. I want a shirt too. But
No problem.
all right. So my goal is to average 4 deals a month.
Mhm.
How would you recommend I make that happen? And that's to start. Of course, I want to do more, but I want to at least average 4 a month. I've been at a point now where I'm averaging 1 a month, but I want to average 4.
That's a great question. So to me, there's multiple, let's call it levers to get business, right? You have open houses, you have outbound calling, you have door knocking, you have your sphere of influence. Like when an agent comes to me and says, so 12 times 4, that's 48. So that's a lot of deals. When you're doing 48 a year, I mean, you're doing very, very well, right? So to me, first, it's going to take time. And I think that's the very first thing to know, that's a few year plus goal for most of us. And why I say that, let's say from your sphere, you're getting 1 a month. Let's say from an open house, you're getting at least 1. Let's say from outbound calls, you're doing 1. And now you almost need that 4th to get 1. That's the way. It's really difficult early on to, let's say, get 4 from one source, right? So for me personally, at the beginning, I was doing lots of open houses because I didn't have the skill on the phone. So that was easier for me. And I was consistent. I did tell all my sphere, all my friends and family who laughed at me saying, DJ, you haven't sold a house in a long time. Why should we trust you? Right. So we are going to get that. Here's the advantage you guys already have. You're together. Every new agent on my team, it's not DJ's numbers. It's here's what we've done. Here's all, collectively, there's power in that. So the new agents leverage our team and our success, and that gives them the confidence to speak. This is what we've done. Right. So I think that to answer your question, you need to first find which one you want to work the most. I've seen agents do 50 deals just on open houses, but they're doing 4 to 5 a week. And then a lot of people are like, well, how's that possible? 2 weeknights they're doing open houses, and they're doing 3 or 4 on the weekend. And they're really good at talking to every single person and letting them know their value, which that again, that takes practice. So my belief is wherever you're going to put the time and energy that most fit your personality, you're going to do great, truly do great. Andre, who's on here, I got to give him a lot of credit. I don't know if a lot of people know this. I wouldn't be on this call if it wasn't for Andre. Andre called me many, many, many times over many, many months about eXp Realty, but he did it in a very friendly and very smooth way where eventually he said, hey, we have a great event coming up in Florida. I think that you'd want to be in this room. And finally, and this is why follow-up is so important.
Finally.
Had Andre not called me, I mean, he actually changed my life with a phone call. Like that room, that day I was able to meet so many of you, and then through other events, now we become friends. That is a testament, just the power of follow-up in the right way. So yeah, Rose, I would say open houses, outbound. Again, for outbound, it's for sale by owner and expired. I feel personally for sale by owner a little bit easier to call at first, and circle prospecting, calling around a neighborhood, because think about that. If you focus on one neighborhood and you touch them 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and they just keep seeing rows, you're going to get business from that neighborhood eventually. But it's again, the consistency and the time. So I would say just be patient. I would say right now, you mentioned you're doing one a month, which is awesome. Usually for our team or our agents, we say, how do we get you to double, which would be 2 a month? We work on that first. And then once you hit that goal, now we look at the different levers and say, where is Rose exceeding the most? Well, she's doing amazing in open houses. Okay, can we do more there? Sphere, I think, is the biggest one. For every one of you on the call, if you had to get deals tomorrow, go in your cell phone. I'm sure most all of you have 1,500, 2,000 contacts. It's just reminding them that you're a real estate professional. That's it. Just, hey, haven't talked in a while. Just wanted to let you know I'm doing real estate. I'm so happy about this career. You know, it's been awesome. If you ever need anything, I'm here to help you. That's it. I'm here to help you. To me, a lot of it is just simpler, and it's easy then to reach out. You have a reason to, even if it's someone you haven't talked to in a while. You never know what you get from that reconnection. We have a golf event coming up. We're raising a lot of money for a local agent for a sick child of his, and I have not talked to some of my past clients for a while, longer than it should be. And this reminded me this week. I reached out to 50 out of 50 people that I've probably been spoken to for the better part of 12 months, other than maybe here or there on social. I got 2 listing appointments from them saying, you know what, DJ, I'm thinking about selling this one property. Oh, that's awesome. When are you thinking about it? Well, actually, I was thinking more fall, but now that you called me, what do you think about the market now? Conversations open. Both of those are under contract. Another client of mine is selling a property. He wants to sell, build new construction, and he just referred me his sister yesterday. That was just for me telling them about a golf event. That's all I did. I said, my intention today is just, we haven't talked in a while. We have this amazing event. I want to make you aware of it. You know, here's some things we're doing. If you're not following us on social, here's our Facebook page. And then they brought that to me, right? And for those that didn't, I just said, hey, remember, anything real estate related you need, if you need a painter, a carpenter, your grass cut, call DJ first. I just want to get in their mind, call me first. Anything they think about homes, if they call me, then I know that they're thinking about me, right? So there's so much power in just, and again, a lot of us are afraid to reach out to our sphere because we go, I haven't talked to him in a while. I haven't talked to her in a while. I don't want to have that awkwardness. It's just simply, hey, just thinking about you. I'm here to help you. If I had to say one thing, right, just a little simple reminder, because they're in your phone for a reason, right? So at one point or another in life, they were a contact, a friend, a colleague, something. So that's the quickest lever that I see being able to kind of move the needle.
Right. Awesome. Anybody else got some questions for DJ?
I have a question.
Okay.
So my biggest lead generation is calling expires and FSBOs, but I call in the afternoon. Would you say that there's a specific time of day to call, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, great question. Expireds, you want to be first. So here's something else to write down. 1/3 of every expired will list within 7 to 10 days. They'll relist immediately. The first agent that calls them, they're going to want to get the property back on the market. The next 1/3 is going to be 30 to 90 days. They need a little bit of a break, but they're going to list. They're still motivated. The last third, I would say it's going to be a year or maybe never. They had a life change. They just, something changed, job didn't come through, etc. But if you're first on the new expireds each day, which in our market there might be 5, 6, maybe 7, there's not a lot. If you're one of the first agents that calls, and I think 8 a.m. is the earliest we ever make phone calls. And I know some of you might feel like, well, I'm bothering people. It's 8 a.m. Here's the different mindset. Don't say you're bothering, you're helping. When I'm calling at 8 a.m., I'm calling to help. And I feel by 8 a.m., like most of us are awake. And if you're not, like, I'm sorry, I'm here to help. Like that's just what I'm calling. So morning, first for expireds, second good time slot, evenings. 4:30 to about 7:30, I would call that the next golden hour time. It's a great time. People are getting off work. They're usually able to talk. For sale by owner, I would say you have a little more flexibility because they are expecting to have their phone ring because their phone's the one on the sign to call. You know, for most of us, think about normal life. Most people, if they work a 9 to 5, lunchtime, they have a little bit of downtime. So maybe like 12 to 1, you might get more of a pickup rate. But for me, I like mornings because I kind of call it eat the frog, get the hard work out of the way first, to have the most energy. But, you know, I'll say this to everybody. Let's say the afternoon's the only time you guys can call. I'd much rather you do the calls than not do the calls. Like don't ever let the time be the excuse. I guess that's the best way to say it. Because the same thing, if you're consistently doing the afternoon, you're still going to win without question. You know, it's my little boy's a baseball player right now. He loves baseball. And I really think about this game. I wasn't a baseball guy, I was a football guy. So I'm learning from him. If you're hitting 3 out of 10, you're an all-star. 7 times you're striking out. Right? So think about that. 7 out of 10, you're striking out, and 300, you're the best. So that's what calls are. I think the hardest thing about the daily calling, even at this stage of my life, I'll sit here some days and I'll dial, and it just won't be a good day. I'll have a lot of just upset people and, you know, just not want to do anything. The next day, I could call for 30 minutes. I set 2 appointments. I'm like, what is happening today? This day is amazing, right? It's a totally different, those days I keep calling. So when you're on fire and a lot of it's mental, when I'm happy, like right now, I'm excited. I'm happy to see you guys. I'm passionate. If I take this energy right now, this is a good day for me to jump on the phone, right? And that's why I say the pregame, going back to why I say that's so important. If I'm having a tough morning and I'm down, and let's say, I mean, you guys can hear it. For those of you that aren't even looking at me, you can hear my voice. If I called you and I go, hey, what's up, James? How you doing? Yeah, you okay? I don't have any energy, right? And here's another nugget to write down. This is really important. We overlook this. When you make a phone call, as soon as they even say a word, your tonality and your mirroring and matching ability is huge. Right? If James goes, what's up, DJ? I'm like, what's up, James? Or if he goes, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, how are you? If I'm too loud and he's soft or vice versa, psychologically, his brain says something's not right, right? So your ability to mirror and match, repeat often, and always, this is huge, put this in bold and circle this the rest of your life. Don't ever disagree with anybody about anything, ever. Always agree. Always. If you disagree, the phone call is over. As soon as you disagree, here's where I went on FSBOs so much. You know what most agents tell for sale by owner? Why are you listing it yourself? You don't need to do that. You need an agent. Do you think that's what they want to hear? Now, I always put my brain on who I'm calling. If someone says that to me, I'm immediately upset. Why am I upset? You're making me sound stupid. So here's what I say. James, I think it's amazing you're listening on your own. And quite frankly, I know that you're going to be successful. Let me ask you this, though. If there was a way we could partner together and I could get you even more money by working with you, you'd at least be open-minded probably to hearing more about that, right? That's it. I'm not making a promise. I'm just because now James goes, all right, I like this guy. He's agreeing with me. And I am. I'm sincere. Can people sell their own home? Sure. Do I think I'm going to get them more money? 1,000% every time. 1,000%. I don't even think there's a question I can get them more money. I know that because we're professionals and we're able to get more exposure. So anything they say, I've had people tell me crazy stuff. Hey, the sky's purple and there's elephants falling. Yeah, I see that. Sky's purple, elephant. That sounds good. Yep, sounds good. Agree, keep going. Agree. So you always agree. You mirror and match. That's your tonality. And it's good to repeat and reaffirm. Because when you repeat and reaffirm, it tells the listener or the other person talking, they understand me. And by understanding, all this is, guys, is and girls, trust and confidence. The key to success is trust. Do they trust you enough to invite you into their home or show you properties? And are you confident and do you exude enough confidence that they want to work with you? And that, a lot of that again comes from just time. But when you're early on, where does confidence come from? For me, it's always worked. Help. I use the word often. I'm just calling to help you. Someone's having a terrible day. They're swearing at me, yelling at me. Hey, I didn't call and upset you today. I just called to help you. It'll diffuse pretty quickly. Usually most people are kind of like, the gloves go down, and they're like, sorry about that. Just having a tough day. It's okay, no problem. Right? I'm just giving you a call to try to help you. And another last thing, it's good to know the market always and rates and all that. Don't allow all the noise to change your mind. I hear from lots of people right now, market's really bad. I don't think it is. I think anyone can be successful in any market. I saw many millionaires made in 2008 and 2009, right? And even right now, are we doing great things? Yeah, we all are. And will there be a new market in the future? There sure will be. One day we're all going to live through a high inventory market where listings, like right now, if I don't sell a house in a day, they hate me. I remember a day where if I sold a house in 30 to 45 days, I was a hero. I'm like, we did it. We got an offer. It would take me a month and a half, and I was excited, right? Because there were 50 houses on the market instead of 2. So, in all those changes, though, we can all be successful if we're just consistent. And right now we're hearing a lot about rates. Is it real? Sure, it's real. But is rate really the objection? It's monthly payment, right? Nobody thinks about rates. We just think about monthly payments. So then it's consulting because we're advisors. Where's the payment you're comfortable? Let's talk about that. Let's find where you're happy and comfortable there. We focus on that. That's what what to focus on. But just know that again, I'm so happy to be on this call with you guys, and you're surrounded by some unbelievable leaders. James, Andre, Mike, just the ones I can see quickly, like who are excellent at what they do and who offer a ton of value daily. So much appreciated.
Man, we appreciate you, man, for just playing all out. We got a few minutes here. If anybody else got a question for DJ.
Yeah, DJ, I got a quick question for you. First of all, great nuggets, man. Taking a lot of notes over here. I hope everybody's doing the same. As we talk about, persistence, we talk about, having that grind, having the calendar. I completely in agreement with all of that. With my team, what we do is anywhere from that 9:30 to the 11:30 hours, we're all prospecting brand new business. And then on the other side of those hours, then we're doing follow-ups. So it's all new business at first, and then it's touch-ups, follow-ups. And then, like I said, appointments, right? The rest of their day is kind of up to them. Can you talk a little bit about some of the automations? I know some agents sometimes, and I don't want to go too deep into it, obviously, because I know some agents are just like, they want to automate everything without actually even doing the work, but I would like to hear about some of the automations that you guys are using to free up some of your time. And that's really kind of giving you maximum efficiency.
Absolutely. Great question. And actually what you said, in a perfect world, your exact calendar is what we strive for. We've found that our more seasoned agents, we can get them to that like two hours brand new, time, and then get into like the follow-up, where with brand new, we start with that 1 hour, but your schedule is actually spot on. So what we do for automation, and this is pretty simple. I like simple things that are consistent: market reports and listing alerts. So for any seller, I immediately, when I talk to anybody, I set up what's selling around them. And even if it's a big area, it's okay. I just want them seeing some activity in something. And usually, again, if it's someone I'd call a hot and warm, that's a minimum of every week. If it's more of a nurture, longer, it might go from 2 weeks to 3 weeks time frame. But let's say I just talked to Mike. He's like, DJ, you sound like a good guy. We just started. I'm about a year away. I'll probably put Mike in a market report. I'll start with 2 weeks, and I'll ask him, because this is where the follow-up comes in. Hey, Mike, I'm sure you've been seeing some of the properties. Hey, now here's the thing. It's automated, but I'll mention at least one to Mike. Mike, did you see that one? I think it fit a lot of your criteria. Yeah, you know what I did? It looks pretty awesome. Hey, Mike, is the frequency okay? Is every 2 weeks, or would you rather it be maybe every 3? Yeah, you know what? 2-3 weeks is fine, DJ. I ask him for at least permission, because I don't, So market reports and listing alerts, I think, are huge. And then when we follow up, we always follow up with something of value. So to me, what is valuable? If I see one of Mike's neighbors sold, or I know that one of Mike's, close neighbors are going to be selling, I want to update him with that. Mike likes that information. Or, again, properties around the area or market trends. Hey, Mike, you know what? Good news I'm seeing, or we're hearing rates just dropped a little bit yesterday. That's a positive. Now, if Mike doesn't pick up the phone, it's just a quick text, right? But I've gotten away in my life now from the, hey, Mike, how is everything? How's the weather down there in Florida? Mike's busy. And Mike probably won't respond to that text because Mike's like, DJ's a good guy, is being polite, but like there's no value there. So I try to be valuable with pertinent real estate related information. And I like to have a next step. Every time I talk to Mike, I'm going to ask again, hey, Mike, I know you mentioned you were about a year out. We talked a few weeks ago. In a perfect world, if I was able to find you that home for an amazing price now, would you consider that time changing at all? It's a great line. In a perfect world. You have no idea how many times I say that and people are like, you know what, DJ? Actually, yeah, I just found out last week that my wife's pregnant. We're having another baby. I'm like, oh my God, congratulations. Like that's, so life changes, right? So look at real estate for life reasons. Marriage, babies, divorce, death, all the life reasons. People need us. They need our services. So that's where that cadence, and remember I mentioned on the sphere, if they don't talk to you in 21 days, start to forget about you. I want to have some correspondence with Mike every couple of weeks. And usually for me, it's a combination of automation, which is Mike's question, listing alerts and market reports are my absolute favorite. If any of you have like a newsletter that you send monthly, I think that's pretty cool. Mike's really good on social. So I think for Mike, and those of you that are, I would just want to follow Mike, so for all his clients, if they're following him on his Instagram and Facebook, that's another touch point. They're getting value. And then they might even follow up with him saying, hey, I saw your post last week. That was pretty awesome, man. Or looked like you were speaking at one of those big conferences. That's pretty cool. Like any way that you can just keep that cadence. And then lastly, on a personal level, and this is genuine, say Mike's my agent, I'm the client. Mike responds to something, say with my son, hey, I saw you and Maverick went to the Pirate Camp. Honest to God, if someone did that, they have me. As soon as anyone says something positive about my kid, I'm like, man, that was pretty awesome. Mike took the 3 set, because it makes you feel good, right? So now me and Mike are connected. We just took another step in the relationship where I'll probably pick up Mike's call now in the future. Like I want to talk to Mike because so you see, relationships are everything, right? And every relationship started as a stranger. None of us knew each other years and years ago. Now I feel like we're family. So it's like all of those steps lead up to trust and relationship. So I would say, yeah, market reports, the listing alerts. If you're doing well on social, anything you can automate socially to send them, I think would be great. Like any new post, any new notification, newsletter. Those are my simple ones. I think those are the most valuable to be consistent on.
Yeah, I just put it in the chat, but I was just saying, you just hit one of the major things that I teach. I teach agents how to use social media as a tool instead of being the tool for social media. And that's exactly one of the things that I do. Most of my business comes from my sphere and referrals, past client referrals and such. And almost every single time I see somebody out, they're like, man, I see you're crushing it. Or, oh man, I see that whatever, because of social media. But when I get on the phone, when I do follow up with them, I'm typically following up off of something that I saw on, social media, right? So I will take something that I saw, give them a call, start with that, and then open up the conversation. So you're absolutely right on that.
No, that's solid. And you're right, because the social part, it humanizes us, right? That makes us feel more like we feel a deeper connection when we get to see someone's life in that manner. So that's huge.
So we got a question. Have to jump real quick.
Sure.
Basically asking what are some of the best scripts when it comes to working with FSBOs.
So I'll send you guys, James, if it's cool, I'll probably email it to you and then you can send it to anyone you wish and just keep them forever. I have used every script they have. I'm sure Andre, he has to have every single one that's ever been invented. I think the most complete package, and it's nothing special, but it's my personal favorite. Tina Call, I'm sure a lot of you guys know her. She's a killer. She's amazing. She gave me her whole script book. Part of it, I was lazy and I was like, this is amazing. It's in one PDF. It's every type of call. So, and they're good. They're solid. She's taken kind of bits and pieces of all of the coaches, you know, Ferry and Jay and all the people we've had and kind of make it her own. But I don't think there's any perfect script. I think it's just, you know, starting with one, getting comfortable. But as you get comfortable, like just talking, you're going to form your own way you speak and how you respond. Because really the key is objections. And I tell the team this every day. There's no objection school for buyers and sellers. They're not going to a university every day to learn how to trick real estate agents on the phone better. Right? It's the same like buyers. I'm just browsing. Number one objection a buyer. What do most of us say? Oh, okay, no problem. Have a good day. You know, I say, that's awesome. Every one of my clients started by just browsing. I browse all the time too. Hey, see, I'm curious. In a perfect world, what are you looking for? What's your time frame? There's your script, right? Most people will stop the conversation, you hang up. You want to continue the conversation, just get more from them, right? So I'll share everything with you guys. I'm an open book. I'll email hers. I got some Jackie Kravitz is a really good trainer. I'll send you hers as well. She has some pretty solid, simple scripts, but really just practice. Get really good at one of them to where it's conversational. Here's the last thing I'll say along those lines. I'm sure we all like movies. I'm a big Denzel Washington fan. So to use him as an example, when I'm watching one of his movies, I believe he's the character. He's so good at acting. And why is he so good? You memorize first, then you internalize. Right? So memorization is one, internalization is two. Then you can talk very freely and very confidently. That's what these are. So the scripts are really, and I used to leave them right on my desk in front of me. So I had kind of to go to them, you know, if I got stumbled up. How do I do that? Here's my advice there. Do 10 minutes a day, twice a day. I used to do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes before bed every day. Do that for 3 weeks. You'll memorize everything. You will know them front to back. I learn better in little doses. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm not good at sitting there. I got real bad ADD. If I sit there more than 10 minutes, I forget. I want to do something else. So I'm like 10 minutes. So again, consistency, right? Once you memorize it, you're going to start hearing objections. Write those down. Go to your team leads, go to other agents. Hey, I keep hearing this. I'm stuck. What do you say? Right? So like even my FSBO, my number one FSBO thing is, you know, if I know they're going to pay a buyer's agency commission, I'm like, well, let me ask you this. If there was a way we could partner together and I could net you the same or more money in your pocket by working with me, I'm sure you'd at least be open-minded to hearing more about that, right? That's my line. And right there, usually most people's, do you want to answer no to that question? No, most people want to say, yeah, I'm open-minded. Excellent. How about tomorrow at 2:30 or Friday at 4? What works better for you so we can continue the conversation? Right? So it's just those type of things, but I'll email those out to everybody. Or I mean to James, so you could distribute to everybody.
Yep. Kathleen, just send it out when he's gonna send it to me and then I'll send it, you know, you send it to you, you can send it out to everybody.
Sure.
Hey, James.
So man, that was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Freaking awesome, man.
I
Like
appreciate it.
so many golden nuggets taken in, man. I mean, I you know, I appreciate you for jumping on and just really playing all out and just open up your heart. And, you know, like I said, I knew it was going to be good anyway, man. That's why I was kind of pushing it for everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much and respect you guys. And I'm grateful for your time as well today. And I hope it helped.
Yeah, absolutely. So you all, we do these, you know, first of all, if you was invited by somebody, first of all, you need to thank them. Because the information that they heard today, they're able to take that right away and implement it in order for them to grow their business. So you need to thank that person. You need to pull them to the side and communicate with them about what partnership looks like, you know, within our group. So definitely, you know, you want to make sure we're doing that. We do these every second Friday, you know, of the month, where we having a guest to come in and just kind of play all out in of itself. So Andre, you got something you want to say, buddy? I saw you put your hand up.
Sorry, I was just saying goodbye. My Zoom's just starting, but great job, DJ. Appreciate you, man. A lot of gold nuggets, consistency and time blocking changed my life. And I know you and I do the same thing. FSBO's Expires. That's how we built our business. So thanks for everything. See you in Vegas.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was gonna say. Like EXPCon, you know, is gonna be in Vegas, October the 2nd. I think it's 2nd through the 5th. If you haven't registered, I mean, they still have some availability there. I'm going, you know, I know a big group of us are going. So, you know, if you're going, go ahead and reach out and let us know so we can all connect when we get down there. And of itself.
Can you send me the information on that, please, James?
Yep, I will send that over
Thank
to
you
you.
so
No
much.
problem. And if anybody else want the information, just let me know. The report,
I'm interested. I want to go. This
you wanna
Rose.
go? Rose, okay.
Yep, let's go.
So make sure you get everybody that's saying that, Kathleen. So Rose, Benita, so we can make sure we send them all that information. If by chance you miss any of this, first of all, you missed something huge. The recording of this is going to be put on Agent Builders Facebook group. If you're not part of Agent Builders Facebook group, you want to definitely get with the person that that's your sponsor in order to make sure that you're connected with that Facebook group. Not only that recording, but other past recordings that we've done as well. Let's close this thing out, man. Anybody else got anything else before we jump off?
I just wanted
James.
to, okay,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I just want to ask a real quick question. I'm sorry, I got kicked off from my internet. It's probably already been answered, but my only question is when the time blocking for calling, you know, the cold calling. From experience, what has been the best time of the day to cold call people?
I personally like that 8 to 11, 9 to 11:30 time frame because it's I do believe when you do the hardest activity first in the morning and kind of eat that frog, as I was trained, it's just easier because you have the most energy. I will say this for new expired, you want to be early because here's why. If they've already gotten 30 calls and I wait till 4 o'clock, they're like, oh, I'm not like, they're just so frustrated at that point because they've been called so much. So personally, I like the morning. Second best time would be, I'd say 4:30 to 7 is a solid time block. Afternoons are tougher.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. That made a lot of sense. I never thought about how many calls they get early in the morning
Yeah,
from FSBOs and Expired.
exactly.
Cool. Well, I want to be respectful of DJ's time, man. I know he probably has to run, got some stuff to take care of, man. So appreciate you, brother. If anybody got any questions, y'all know y'all can reach out to me directly. I'm gonna send over the information that he sends as well. And let's crush it, man. Let's go crush it. Like you said, like this ain't no recession. This ain't no, problem with sales. Like, we just got to do the freaking work. You heard him. He said he's go 300 homes this year. Hey,
Thank you.
if one man can do it, another man can do it. Just do the work. Just do the
That's it.
freaking work.
I agree. I'm not special. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.